What's up, everybody? This is the Sports League podcast, back for another week. I'm your host, Alex Leak. We got the co-host, Amanda, ready to talk some football. Are you excited?
I am, as always, but it's a big week for us NFC North co-host out here. I've got my Darnell Savage jersey on to celebrate him going to my AFC team.
There you
He's
go.
he's with the Bills now, so I at least get to pull it out. Like if he'd gone to the Chiefs or somebody, I'd just never wear it again. But convenient move, Darnell. Appreciate it.
So, week 14 about to get going, and this is Hate Week on the Sports League podcast. We're friends, we're frenemies this week,
Yeah.
and when my Bears take down your Packers, I know that you'll put on a brave face and be ready to talk about it on the recap.
I'll just skip the next episode.
No, in all fairness, I mean, the Bears have done a great job at this point. I don't know if they can pull this one off in Lambeau. It's going to be really tough, but is there going to be snow or anything? Do you know?
I haven't seen anything. It looks like it's cold enough to snow, but
I hope
fingers
so.
crossed. We do love a good snowy game.
We at least need to see the player's breath, in the air.
Yeah. I like when they
So,
take their helmets off and you can see the baldies steaming heads on the
yeah.
sidelines. That's the best.
Yeah. But so week 14, and let's talk about Thursday night football. The 6-5-1 Cowboys at the 7-5 Lions. Dallas comes in on a 3-game winning streak, but Detroit jumps all over them. They're up 27-9. Blowing this game out. But to the Cowboys' credit, they pull back. They get within 30-27 in the fourth, and it looked like the Cowboys were gonna, come back and win this thing. But man, their defense was so bad, and they just couldn't stop Detroit when it mattered most.
Yeah, their defense really did not show up. I had a feeling this was going to be kind of a repeat of the Green Bay Dallas game where they'd want to be super offensive, knowing that Detroit can put up a lot of points. You would think that after a couple games like the Green Bay game that they've already played, where they let an opponent put up 40, that they would have addressed those issues on defense. And obviously that's not the case.
Yeah, and it also so even if you get into a shootout, it sucks to lose CD Lamb to a concussion. That played a big role. I think Ryan Flournoy went crazy. He had like a career high 9 catches. Um, but yeah, and then I just felt like the Cowboys were sloppy. This was a game they had to have, and I felt like they were making a lot of mistakes throughout. Dak throwing a backwards pass, losing 16 yards. Um, George Pickens. Did you see George Pickens? It kind of looked like he wasn't hustling all the way at times.
Yeah. Maybe he's got a muscle strain or something we don't know about, but definitely wasn't feeling like he was putting his like 100% into some of his routes.
Yeah. We didn't know if Amon-Ra was going to be able to play, but he toughened it out. He, didn't miss any action, and he actually looked pretty healthy. Like he was blocking, he was running his routes right, he made some catches, he was doing his thing out there.
Yeah, that was my concern with them. So if you take a Monra off the field and knowing that Sam Laporta is out, all they really need to do to beat them is stop the run. Like Tesla is
Mm-hmm.
amazing, but if you only have one receiver, it's going to be pretty obvious who you're going to there. So when we were making our picks, that was kind of where I was leaning because it didn't seem like Amon-Ra was going to be healthy enough to play. And then him on the field is a completely different team. Like that offense is just so much better when he's out there.
Yeah, 100%. Great play by Jack Campbell, of forcing a fumble. Dak starts the second half with an interception, but a great play by Amik Robertson and Derek Barnes getting the interception. And then the officiating wasn't great throughout this game. There was some bad calls on both sides, but that
Yeah,
offensive pass interference on Jake Ferguson was probably the worst.
the overturning the Dak Prescott safety thing was kind of weird. There was a huge missed PI that would have helped Dallas potentially come back and tie it late in the game that they didn't call. But I'm not saying one team won because of the referee calls. It was just bad across the board. There were calls
Yeah.
made that shouldn't have been made, calls that were wrong, and some major missed calls.
Yeah, and so I picked Dallas in this game, and I can't get away from Matt Eberflus. He's not even on my team anymore, and I'm still tweeting out "Fire Eberflus." That defense was so bad, and I mean, he's going to take the fall for that. That defense has been bad all year long, and even after they traded for Quinnen Williams and got Overshown back, you know?
Well, and last week they looked pretty good. I thought that they were going to be clicking more on defense coming into this week. And there really isn't an excuse for it anymore. Like you brought in a player, your players are healthy again on defense, and then just n no, all right, we'll just let our opponents put up 44. Like there's no excuse at this point.
Yeah, not good. Your boy Jahmyr Gibbs continues to just go absolutely crazy. He's a touchdown machine, 120 yards and three touchdowns. What did he tie Barry
I
Sanders?
feel like he was underrated in that draft, but Detroit
Hmm.
drafting is on point. Something we've seen a lot with this Detroit team is late season key players going down with injuries. This game was so rough for both teams with some key injuries. Like we've got CeeDee Lamb with his concussion leaving the game. Um, Frank Ragnow tried to unretire to rejoin the Lions, which I think would have been a great ad. He's got the grade three hamstring strain. And then Amon-Ra is still kind of battling an injury, but he seems to be playing well. He had a good game here. Terrion Arnold and IR, like we could just go on with this injury list, but these teams are going to have to overcome a lot if they want to make a postseason run.
Well, and you didn't even mention the worst one at the end of this game, Lions safety
I
Brian
saved that
Branch.
one for you. I figured you wanted to announce that one. So I was
That
saving it
one
for you.
sucks. Torn Achilles
Yeah.
out for the season, and honestly, an Achilles that's probably eating into half the season next year. That's a massive injury.
Yeah. That's
So
9 to 12 months generally. So that sucks.
yeah, so good win for the Lions. They keep their playoff hopes alive, but at what cost? Losing Brian Branch in the process. It's going to be hard to overcome that. And then for the Cowboys, they fall to 6-6-1, and it's looking like that's a long shot for the Cowboys to make the playoffs now. They had a three-game winning streak. It was looking positive, but this is a very costly loss.
They've had this issue for multiple years where their offense can put up great numbers and their defense just isn't matching it. And I mean, honestly, I don't care what their record is. If you let teams regularly put up 40 points, you're just not going to be a contender.
Yeah, we were hoping that there was signs of improvement. They had looked better since trading for Quinnen Williams, but this game really showed once again their major flaws. They couldn't stop Amon-Ra. They couldn't cover properly. A lot of penalties and stuff like that. Just not good football from the Cowboys.
Yeah, and it's
But,
crazy to me. Dak Prescott has had a couple like MVP conversation worthy games this season, and they're just still losing them or tying them.
yeah, yeah. So for the Lions, they're at the Rams next week. I mean, that's not going to be an easy game either. Going up against a red hot Rams team, Stafford playing at an MVP level. I fully expect the Rams to win that one at home, and that would drop the Lions down to 8-6. So the Lions too are fighting tooth and nail to make the playoffs. I'm not so sure they do, even with this win.
Yeah, they're in a really competitive division, one of the two most competitive in the league right now. So it'll be interesting to see how everything kind of plays out.
Yeah, 100%. So that's that game. Now we can get into our game picks, unless you have anything else to add. But I'm ready to. I'm down what 4 games on you now. I gotta make up some ground here. But I think we're gonna disagree on quite a few games this week. So let's get into this.
So my only thing I'd want to add there is who do you think Detroit is rooting for as Chicago and Green Bay go to play each other twice in the next 3 weeks? Do you think they're hoping Green Bay knocks Chicago down so they can like sneak up from behind? Because I mean we've got a 9-win team and two 8-win teams.
Yeah, I think they're rooting for Green Bay because the Packers swept Detroit and the Lions beat Chicago. So if the Lions
So
were
they
to
have
beat
the
Chicago
tiebreaker.
again, yeah.
Yeah, right now they're in the third slot down or fourth slot down in the wild card. So
Yeah, yeah.
It's going to be a tight
But
race for the NFC, but I'm excited. I love this time of year. Like you get to really test teams' strengths and weaknesses and see what they've actually addressed throughout the season. Like these games are the ones that really matter. The stretch week 14,
yeah,
15, 16. I feel like the true identity of teams has time to shine.
yeah, Thanksgiving on in December, we December is the best, for trying to make the playoffs and teams playing their best and the weather gets colder and everything just magnifies December and January. So let's get into our game picks here for week 14. On Sunday, we got the 9-3 Seahawks at the 4-8 Falcons. Seattle has won 6 of their last 7. They're coming off a shutout win over Minnesota, 26-0, where they forced 4 interceptions. Atlanta coming off a bad loss at the Jets, despite Bijan Robinson going off. Any shot? You think Atlanta keeps this competitive, or is Seattle just a much better team here?
And I mean, that offense didn't look great. Granted, Minnesota has a fantastic defense. Like they're
Yeah,
the most blitz heavy, but I feel like if you watch that game as a defense, as Atlanta's defense, you know exactly what to do against Seattle to get after Darnold. Send an extra rusher. That's what Minnesota did. And Darnold, I mean, he had only taken 11 sacks over the first 11 games of the season, but he was knocked down 4 times. So
yeah,
send an extra rusher, get after Darnold. He takes too long to throw the ball. So if you go blitz heavy, you can get to him and end the play.
yeah. But even then, I don't know if that'll be enough to beat this team. I mean, then you got Kenneth Walker, that defense, that Seattle defense can score points by themselves.
Yeah, their defense is fantastic. I'm just saying that's how you go after the offense. I am not
Yeah.
picking Atlanta to win. Uh, But it does give some defenses a quick little preview on how to help shift things in their direction a little bit. But Seattle's defense is fantastic. I mean, the number of points they've scored in the past couple weeks is disgusting.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. I'm going Seattle in Atlanta. No Drake London for the Falcons, no Brandon Dorlus, and James Pierce is questionable. So Seattle's relatively healthy. All signs say Seattle here. And yeah, we're going to agree on that one.
Yeah.
Um, how about your Bills, though? Joe Burrow against the Bills. Joe Burrow's 2-0 against your Buffalo Bills. And Amanda, the
He
Buffalo
is.
in their last 4, they've been win loss win loss. So this is a game they need to win, right?
Absolutely. This Bills team is very like week to week. And then if you look at their stats, like some of like they lead the league in time of possession and plays per drive, but their record, I mean, their losses have been ugly. Like
Hmm.
I don't trust them week to week. I do trust them in this one. Um, I no turnovers have been a weakness. They've been focusing on that. I mean, multiple turnovers in each of the past 4 games. Josh Allen, 4 straight games with an interception, tied for the second longest streak of his career. He did have 9 straight in 2023, but we do love a classic Josh Allen interception game that they still win. But I feel like their defense has really been stepping up, and we know how this Bengals defense struggles. So I think Buffalo will pull off a close one, but I think it'll be interesting. I think it'll be definitely a fun one to watch.
Yeah, Joe Burrow has had success against the Bills. And what are your thoughts when we watched Thanksgiving night, the Bengals shock everyone and blow out the Ravens, played decent defense, and Joe Burrow looked like he hasn't missed a start. Does that worry you with the Bengals coming to Buffalo? Do you think, I know they're probably going to put up points, but the Buffalo it's probably going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I agree with the shootout. I just think the Ravens played a very, very shitty game in that
Yeah,
matchup. He was back and he looked great. But the Ravens were battling a lot of injuries, a little bit of rust on the tires for them. And I don't know if the Ravens are a team that we're gonna give credit to other teams for beating because some of their matchups they've just completely no-showed. I'm not saying
yeah.
that win doesn't count, but that's a hard one to judge. Like the NFL is very hot and cold week to week this season, but the Bills have the highest pass block win rate in the NFL, and the Bengals have the third worst win rate, and they're out Trey Hendrickson. Like I just feel like it'll be a close one. It'll be fun, but I think I got to pick Buffalo here.
So no Trey Hendrickson for Cincy, but no Joey Bosa for Buffalo. T.
Joey
Higgins,
Joey Bosa hasn't really done anything this season though.
he did, wasn't it last week? He had the strip sack of Aaron Rodgers that they returned for a touchdown. So that's something.
The one play in a very
Yeah.
lopsided game. Like I'm not
Um, T. Higgins is back. Good to see Keon Coleman out of the doghouse and catch a touchdown pass last week. The Bills are getting left tackle Deion Dawkins back. Dalton Kincaid is questionable. The Bills are going to need him. He needs
yeah.
to play. Um,
But Darnell Savage, they've got some fresh meat coming to town. They seem to be addressing some of their issues. And I like that they made a move to bring somebody in. It didn't pan out with the Darius Slay situation, so they moved on and found someone else. I love that because we have talked so much about Buffalo being one of those teams who have a need and they're like, "Oh, we'll just figure it out." And week to week, month to month, year to year, they do the same thing and they just don't address that need. This is kind of the first time we've seen them actually go after a a position hole that they have and put effort in and like just be determined to fill a hole that they have on defense. So I'm excited.
do you agree with me that the key for the Bills is James Cook? 177 yards last week. I think as great as Josh Allen is only better when James Cook is cooking. Feed
Yeah.
James Cook, get him going. That's to me the recipe for success here. I'm actually going with the Bengals here.
Okay.
Uh, I'm buying the hype. I'm buying what they look like against the Ravens last week. Getting T. Higgins back is huge. I think it's going to be a shootout, and the entire key is limit James Cook, put all the pressure on Josh Allen, and get a turnover or two. That's the recipe. No Trey Hendrickson sucks, but
Yeah.
yeah. So that's our first game we're going to disagree on. And to this point, Burrow is undefeated against the Bills. We'll see if he can get the 3-0, but this is going to be a tough game. If the Bengals win this one, that's going to open some eyes.
Oh, absolutely. Like I'm not a Bengals hater by any means. I just feel like Buffalo has been addressing some of their issues and I trust them a little bit more with
Yeah.
how they've played. They've played well over the past couple weeks.
Yeah, the
In their
Bills should
wins,
win that.
they've played well. So
Yeah. Let's go to the 1-11 Titans at the 3-9 Browns. It's outside in Cleveland, so we don't expect there to be good weather. Titans on a 7-game losing streak. And I know the records aren't good, but I'm actually very interested to watch this game because of the quarterback matchup. The number one overall pick quarterback, Cam Ward, and the fifth round pick, Shedeur Sanders. And I swear Shedeur is going to outplay Cam Ward here, and that's got to account for something. That's got, you know what I mean? He should never have fallen to the fifth round.
I think he absolutely outplays Cam Ward, but also not so much because not only because he's a better quarterback. I do think he's a better quarterback, but because Myles Garrett is 4 sacks shy of the NFL single season sack record,
He might
and
get him
Cam
on
Ward
Sunday.
has accumulated the most sacks of any quarterback with
Yeah,
48. So
yeah,
I think he might break the record this week. And I think that's going to be the goal. I think the team is going to, be pushing for Miles to get to Cam. I think Cam's going to have a rough day staying on his feet.
yeah.
Um, that record just dangling in front of Miles Garrett, like regardless of if he was as good as I think Shador can be, that wouldn't matter. Like you're up against Miles Garrett, who's trying to break an all-time record. Like it's going to be a rough game for you, bud.
It's cool seeing this because this is history in front of our eyes. We've never seen anyone, have a season like this. And Miles Garrett, I think we all expect him to break the record. He was writing like 25 on his wristband.
Yeah, he's been putting 25 on his wrist. He's at
Yeah,
19 and he's got a few weeks left. So this is a great game to get close to that. Something
yeah.
that's really cool. So we both are picking the Browns here. Quinshon Judkins has had 6 rushing touchdowns over their 3 wins. During the 8 losses, he only has one. So each time they
Mhm.
play, if he gets going and he's scoring touchdowns, they tend to win the game. So I like that they're getting him involved more. And he's tied right now with Jackson Dart for the most touchdowns among rookies this season, which is cool to be tied with a quarterback there. Like we don't generally see running backs who are rookies kind of matching up with those explosive quarterbacks.
Yeah, he's having a great year. Love what he's doing. The Browns have a great foundation of rookies with Shador Sanders. Quinshad Judkins, and I really like Harold Fannin Jr., their tight
Yeah.
end too. So we agree on that one. We're both going the Browns at home. And I wrote in here, Shador outplays Cam Ward. We'll see if that happens. Cam Ward is capable, but I just feel like Myles Garrett's going to be all over him.
Yeah.
And that Browns defense
Like
is
I wasn't even
nasty.
trying to hate on Cam Ward. Like regardless of how talented he is, I don't think he's going to have a lot of time to show his talent against
Yeah,
that defensive front.
and like Abe says, he kind of hangs on to the ball too much. He's used
Yeah.
to having a better O line in front of him.
And
So
you can't do that against Myles Garrett and that Cleveland defense. Like that's a mistake.
yeah. Commanders at Vikings, 3-9. Washington at the 4-8 Vikings. Commanders on a 7-game losing streak. Vikings on a 4-game losing streak. Commanders looked good last week though. They almost pulled off the upset against Denver, took them to overtime, and the Vikings are coming off a shutout loss. But in my opinion, Max Brosmer was a big reason why the Vikings looked as bad as they did with his 4 interceptions. They're getting J.J. McCarthy back, but the Commanders are also getting Jaden Daniels back. Um, I think this is going to be a close game, but you seem to be kind of like looking at the way Washington played against Denver and buying a little bit more. Plus, they're getting Jaden Daniels back, right?
But I feel like the hype with Jaden Daniels coming back and that team, if they had played anyone besides Denver, they would have won that game. Like I
Yeah.
said in our last episode, they're Mariota and Zach Ertz, who has been in the league for what, 15 years, had no right looking like prime Brady and Gronk. Like they were played so well. If it had been anyone but Denver and their magical late game comeback overtime magic they have going on this season, they would have won that game. Like they played a fantastic game. Did they lose? Yes, but
They look good.
that was
They
a win for me in their book. I don't care who ended up winning that one. They played fantastic on offense. So I'm definitely rolling with them here. Maybe the should we mispronounce Mariota on the
yeah.
broadcast? Maybe
So
the magic is gone. Maybe it's his connection with Ertz that looks so good, but I feel like with Jaden back, they're just going to be hype, and I don't think they're going to drop another one, getting their starting quarterback back.
So, yeah, thank you for bringing that up. You know what really grinds my gears? Marcus Mariota. It's been Mariota for 10 years now. It was
Yep.
Mariota at Oregon. It's been Mariota his entire NFL career. Now all of a sudden it's Mariota? What are we
Yeah.
doing here? You
I don't
can't
know.
change your name 10 years into your career. If that's the case, I want you guys to start calling me Alex the Great.
Are you a Viking? Guys, Alex gets a haircut. He's feeling himself too much.
You
Alex
don't
the
like
Mighty
Alex the
over
Great?
here.
Come on now, that's a good nickname. Aaron Jones is back for the Vikings as well. Are you going Commanders here?
Yeah. Listen, I love some players on that Minnesota team. I like their potential. Um, their quarterback position needs some love and some attention and maybe an earlier bedtime because they are a bunch of youngins, but I can't pick them.
Kevin O'Connell said that he told JJ McCarthy, "Don't think about it, just rip it. You
Yeah.
trust your skills and just throw it. Don't hesitate." So we'll see if he plays better in this game. I'm gonna take the Vikings at home. In JJ McCarthy, we trust.
Yeah.
Hey, Mariota was playing some good football. What if Jaden Daniels comes in and he's a little rusty? You know what I mean? It's a
I
good
mean,
defense.
I I'm not anti-Minnesota defense. Their defense is fantastic. I just don't trust their offense.
Oh, you're anti JJ McCarthy, is what you're saying.
I'm anti a team who brings in a rookie quarterback who didn't have to throw the ball in college, who had
Yeah.
a great offensive line and a fantastic running back who helped them win a national championship and didn't give said rookie quarterback the development time and veteran influence he needed. That's what I'm anti. Not JJ had potential. But Minnesota has no excuse for not following the Aaron Rodgers, the Jordan Love blueprint Green Bay showed them. It's in the division. Like you can't be like, "Oh, I didn't realize that works." No, there's no excuse for that.
No, I think it's like ego and trying to be the smartest person in the
Mhm.
room with the Vikings, and is backfiring in a big way. And they're stuck. They can't move on from JJ
Yeah.
McCarthy next year or anything. They got to keep this process going. I got an idea though. If you talk about that veteran and JJ McCarthy, what about bringing Kyler Murray in next year to compete with JJ McCarthy?
Ooh.
That's something.
I don't think it should be considered a competition. I think a mentorship would be the
Yeah,
right vibe. Like,
yeah.
I don't think JJ should be competing to be a starter. I think he should be learning how to be a starter.
Yeah, yeah, and I don't know how good of a mentor Kyler would be. I think a good mentor would be like a Joe Flacco, you know?
Yeah. That's why I like Kirk Cousins, but Minnesota doesn't like taking my advice, so
Yeah. All right, the 5-7 Dolphins at the 3-9 Jets. Miami on a three-game winning streak. Dolphins coming off a close 21-17 win over the Saints. Jets coming off a close 27-24 win over the Falcons. Jets will be without Justin Fields. But Miami, they're kind of rolling right now. But at New York, division rivalry, you never know. Do you think the Dolphins can keep this rolling and get to four straight? Jets are scrappy. They might be able to win another one here.
they do. My thing is the Jets only have two takeaways this season, and that's something that they've been working on. Every other team has at least seven.
Mm-hmm.
So Aaron Glenn is like, yeah, this interception drought is puzzling. It's something we're focusing on. Here comes Miami, who has, thrown the ball to the other team 18 times. Like, I
Yeah.
feel like this might be the game where they address their drought a little bit because Tua's a guy you can pick off. Oh, okay, so
Bad.
18 takeaways, sorry, 14 interceptions. Um,
Okay.
so so I think that might be a prime lineup for that defense. I do think that at at home, I don't know. I want the Jets to be good. They have a great ground duo. They haven't really done much with them. Um, but there is potential on this Jets team. But I think I have to pick Miami, which I don't like doing. Like,
It's tough because AD Mitchell had like the game of his life last week. Do we think he's gonna
yeah.
do that 2 weeks in a row?
No, no, I don't. But also, the Dolphins have lost seven straight games, if you count the postseason, below 45 degrees at kickoff. So it's going to
Wow.
be chilly here. Like their last win that was cold was in 2019. Like
Yeah,
they
they're
just don't
not
win
built
in cold
for
weather. Um, I don't know. I'm so sick of picking Jets games. Like, can I just stop? Like, I don't.
that.
I'm sick of hearing about them and sick of thinking about them. They're just really hard to pick this season.
They
Um, I'll just roll with
go.
Devon Achan here. Like he's the
Okay.
only person in this matchup I trust. Like
Yeah.
I don't trust the kickers, I don't trust the edge rushers. Chop Robinson's gonna have a rough game. Like he had a great game last week. Sack and a half, three quarterback hits, but he's gonna be lining up against Armand Membu for the Jets. So he's gonna have a rough game. Yeah, so Devon.
This Yeah, this game could literally go either way,
Yeah.
and we wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to take the Jets just because I'm
Okay.
trying to dig out of this hole. I don't like that you're suddenly putting me in a hole here. In December, I've been comfortable all season long. Now Amanda's trying to run away with our picks. So give me the Jets to get back into this thing.
Fair enough. Okay.
Um, let's go 2-10 Saints at your 7-5 Bucks. Baker Mayfield. Tampa Bay did a great job of snapping their three-game losing streak last week. They didn't play perfect, but they got the win, and they got Bucky Irving back. They're close to getting Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan back, but not quite, not this week. But the Saints are going to be without Alvin Kamara, Tali Fuaga, Justin Reed. This is an easy choice. The Bucks at home, you know.
Yeah, I'm absolutely picking the Bucks here. I just there's so many issues here. Chris Olave is having a fantastic season, though. I mean, he's got 115 targets, third most behind Jamar Chase and Trey McBride. So he's having a great season. But I trust Tampa Bay so much more.
Yeah.
They're they won when they absolutely needed to. They have the second easiest remaining strength of schedule. I think they're gonna just kind of get on a little run here and take advantage of that schedule. but I just don't trust the Saints team. Every time that Tyler has a Shucks, whatever, however you say his last name, every time he has a performance that is good, the next week he bounces back with something hideous. Like he's
Yeah.
so hot and cold. Because I mean, there have been times you're like, oh, they're gonna be saying all shucks, and you're right, and then the next week you say the same thing, and they play an absolutely terrible game. So I don't trust him week to week. I think Baker Mayfield is gonna do whatever he needs to do to keep his team in contention. I think that division is winnable, and I think the Bucks are gonna go after it hard in this week.
Yeah, and they play the Panthers next week, and that's going to be a battle for first place. So they need this win just to get one game up.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and I am still buying this Bucks team. They've been injured. That's the only
Mhm.
thing. They got Chris Godwin back. They got Bucky Irving back. Once they get Mike Evans and Jalen McMillan to go with Emeka Ibuka and Tez Johnson, this team can really get rolling and still get to an NFC Championship game if they get healthy.
Yeah, my NFC Championship was both of the Bay teams, so
Yeah.
we'll see if that pans out.
Yeah, I think this is a very winnable game. If they lose this, then I'm going to sound the alarm, but I don't think they
Yeah.
will.
I'll hop off the Baker bandwagon if they lose this one. No,
Yeah.
I won't. That was a lie.
I'm excited for this one. It's a battle in the AFC South. The 8-4 Colts at the 8-4 Jags. Indy on a 2-game losing streak. Jacksonville on a 3-game win streak. Um, the Colts have not looked great of late. They lose 20-16 to the Texans, their first home loss of the season. The Jags blew out the Titans and stole first place in the South. Um, no Sauce Gardner for the Colts. I mean, what are your thoughts on? I know you kind of like the Colts. You're rooting for the owner, um, but Daniel Jones' injury seems to be limiting him and the offense, and it puts all the eyes on Jonathan Taylor. It's like if we can stop Jonathan Taylor, we can stop the offense. What are your thoughts about Indy at this moment?
In this matchup specifically, I think it's going to be rough. I mean, we've got the league's leading rusher in Jonathan Taylor, but they're playing the league's top-ranked run defense.
Yeah,
So until Indiana Jones is fully healthy and they have other options, I think it's just going to be easy to limit them on offense. Like this team hasn't won a game in Jacksonville since 2014. Obviously, there's been 8 different quarterbacks, good teams, bad teams since then. But going after a streak that's been going for so long with like coming into this game knowing you're going against the top ranked run defense, I just don't trust them to be able to throw the ball well if they need to.
yeah.
I know the Jaguars pass defense is a little sus at times, but I can't pick an Indiana Jones with some injuries. Like injury Anna Jones is just not who you want leading your team against that run defense.
Yeah, here's Indiana Jones on a fractured leg, limping into the Temple of Doom and about to get his ass kicked here. Um, this is going to be a good game. I think it's going to go down to the wire, but I think Jacksonville does just enough to win. Uh, Something to keep an eye on is defensive tackle Eric Armstead and defensive end Trayvon Walker are both questionable. So that D line is a little injured. I hope they both play. And then the key is Trevor Lawrence. Protect the football. Turnovers can kill you. So, but I'm gonna go Jags at home. You are too?
Yeah. As much as I want to root for the Colts and the new ownership, and I think she's doing a fantastic job being
Yeah.
involved and figuring things out for herself and just being present, there's only so much you can do with a broken leg.
Yeah. And I got to give you credit for that. As much as you are kind of liking this Colts team, rooting for it, you see the signs, and
Yeah.
you're not just
Yeah,
blindly
I'm
rooting for
logical with
them.
my picks. I don't pick based off emotion very often.
Well, let's see what you do here with the 6-6 Steelers at the 6-6 Ravens. I want some emotional picks here from you. Pittsburgh on a 2-game losing streak. Baltimore coming off a blowout loss against the Bengals. Steelers coming off a blowout loss against the Bills. Lamar Jackson not listed on the injury report. We've been talking about the way he's looked the last couple of weeks.
Mhm.
Is like, oh, he's clearly still injured. So
Well,
I
and
wonder,
it's funny too because it was different injuries that withheld him from practice 3 weeks in a row. And they're like, no, he's
yeah,
fine. Like every time a game rolls around, they're like, oh no, he practiced in full on Friday. He's good. I'm like, but how is he
well,
missing 1 to 3 days a week of practice and then he's just good to go at game time, but he's playing like shit. Like it's a little suspicious, guys.
well, I hope he looks better this week. They're gonna need him to. I think so. This is my take, and I've been listening to the national media talk shit all week long. Everybody is saying fire Mike Tomlin. Everybody is burying the Steelers team, saying they're done. I'm not there, and I'm not giving up on the Steelers on my Steelers pick this year. I think this is the game. I think they've heard enough. Mike Tomlin's heard it. Aaron Rodgers has heard it. T.J. Watt's heard it. Jalen Ramsey across the board. Everyone's heard it. And the addition of Adam Thielen, I'm hoping, provides a little bit of a spark or at least an option to get rid of the ball for Aaron Rodgers. I'm going Steelers in Baltimore here. This is a heated rivalry. This is my second favorite rivalry in the sport. And the Steelers are very capable of winning this game. And if Lamar Jackson looks the way he's looked the last couple of weeks, I don't see why the Steelers can't win this game. What's your argument here?
So all I'm gonna say is during minicamp, Terrell Austin, the defensive coordinator for the Steelers, said, "Yeah, Baltimore was a problem last year. They rushed for 299 yards in the wild card matchup when they played each other."
Yep.
So that, I mean, if they use that game plan, I think Baltimore can win. But I mean, their last matchup, they turned the ball over 5 times, or the last game, not against Pittsburgh. But
Yeah.
ball security has been what they've been focusing on all week. The Ravens are in like a must win situation. Winner
Both
takes
are.
first place in AFC North.
Yep.
I think Baltimore kind of knows how to beat this Pittsburgh team. I do think it's going to be close and competitive. If Baltimore gets their run game going like they did in that wild card matchup, I think they can win. I cannot pick this game with confidence either way,
Yeah.
but I think I'll stick with the home team just because they're so well matched. I think it'll be a great game. I hope it'll be scrappy. But like we've seen some matchups where the Steelers just no show on offense.
Yes.
Like I've
Yeah.
the Green Bay game in particular, I was so disappointed by that because I wanted that last Aaron Rodgers down to the wire. Like
Yeah.
I wanted a Hail Mary and the Aaron Rodgers play in Green Bay. I didn't even care who won, really. I just wanted a great, like, make it a movie kind of game, and we didn't get that. But we've seen a couple games where the Steelers have done that.
Yeah. What was that game where Aaron Rodgers threw the Hail Mary and it was so close? He like,
It was close, but he didn't have a Devontae Adams down there.
yeah. Or Richard Rodgers or
Uh,
so many
Richard
different ones.
Rodgers, who else was there? James
Yeah.
Jones. Yeah.
Yeah. So many, yeah,
Aaron Rodgers has
weird.
had his roster of wide receivers to throw to, like,
Yeah, like Jeff Janis. I mean, what
oh,
are we
Jeff
doing?
Janis. You shouldn't say that name in the presence of a Green Bay fan. That'll get you in trouble.
Or a Robert Tanyan. How about all these names I'm busting out?
Bob Tanyan.
But yeah,
Wow,
I
you know a lot
agree.
of Packers players, Alex. Do you have something you want to tell us on the podcast?
Well, no, I keep your enemies close. You know, your friends close and your enemies closer. You know what I mean? So
Okay, and
I'm all over
I'm both
the
this week. So, yeah, I'll pick Baltimore here. I'm assuming you're going with Pittsburgh. So,
Yeah, I'm
you're
going
really
with
trying to make
Pittsburgh.
up your losses this week.
Oh yeah, I'm going all in this week, trying to make a dent in your lead. But yeah, I
Well, if you
agree.
sweep me, we've got 4 games so far. So,
Yeah. So Derrick Henry is the key. You know, feed
yeah,
the hell out of Derrick Henry and make the Steelers prove that you can stop it. I wish the Steelers had a run game. Again, I wish they had pulled the trigger and traded for Breece Hall. That would have been
yeah.
huge. But I'm hoping Adam Thielen can do something. And yeah, I'm just not. The national media, my mindset is when the national media completely buries a team,
Yeah.
you can, expect them to bounce back. You know what I mean? So
Yeah, I feel like
let's
if they
go.
had a fully healthy team and had a star at running back and their record and their like the way they're playing is the same as it is now, yeah, hate on the coach. But they just don't have the talent at some of the positions where they need it. They don't have their depth isn't there. So I'm not blaming the coach. They're doing plenty with what they've got. Like they're bringing in a wide receiver because Aaron Rodgers needs someone else to throw to. Like they're addressing issues, but there's only so much you can do with the current players on your team.
Yes, I don't know how many snaps Adam Thielen is going to get. I hope a
Yeah.
lot. But don't you agree that you could see how Adam Thielen could open it up?
Mhm.
Like get the attention off of DK Metcalf, throw a couple
Yeah.
quick, easy ones to Adam Thielen, you know?
Like, I don't think DK is bad. I think DK is a great one of two or one of three. I don't think
Yeah.
he's a Puka Nacua. I don't think he's a Tyreek Hill. You don't want him to be your one and only guy. He's not going to
Yeah.
sneak past people. He's like 12 feet tall. Like you
Yeah.
need someone quick and fast also. But I think it'll help DK's performance as well, having someone else to pull people off, having someone else to mix up the defense with.
Yeah, 100%. So we disagree on that one. That's our fourth disagreement of the week.
I don't
Let's
know how
go
much we
to
need to talk about this next one. We're definitely not going to disagree.
well, hey, the Broncos should have beat the doors off of the Marcus Mariota Commanders, and they didn't do
Wow,
that either.
that was Tom Brady and Gronk. I don't want to hear it. I know who the team is, but they did not play like themselves. So I
Yeah.
don't care.
Slow starts, the defense not playing at its best, whatever it is, the Broncos keep finding ways to win, but they're not playing clean football at all, you know?
No, it is messy, some stupid, idiotic penalties, but they found
Yeah.
themselves an Etsy witch or something.
uh,
They've got something worked out with the black magic that the 49ers have going on. I this game is very lopsided. I hate this matchup. 10 and 2 and 2 and 10 in week 14. Like, ew. The Broncos are gonna win for
yeah.
sure.
Yeah, Broncos are going to win. We don't need to spend much time on that one. It might be closer than we think, but Broncos are still going to find a way to win.
Yeah,
And
divisional games are always close, but ain't
yeah.
no way. Unless Bo Nix throws 8 interceptions. No way.
Let's go to the game of the week. Our rivalry game, the 9-3 Bears at the 8-3-1 Packers. Chicago comes in red hot on a 5-game winning streak, but the Packers are getting it going as well on their 3-game winning streak. This is the ultimate matchup. We love this rivalry, but we haven't had a game of this magnitude since probably 2013. And or even the NFC Championship game. And
It's been a while.
it's been a long time, and I'm so hyped for this matchup. Both teams playing well, um, and to me, the key is Chicago's run game. The Bears' run game against the Eagles on Black Friday shocked me and shocked a lot of people. I don't think many people thought the Bears could run the ball like that, especially against the Eagles.
The Eagles defense really sucked in that game. So like yes, they had a fantastic run game, but the Eagles have let their opponents put up I'll say the exact number, but they've let their opponents put up so many yards the last 2 weeks. Like it's not like you guys came in and did something special. They let their previous opponent do the same thing the week before. So I
The
think the Eagles
Cowboys,
run defense
but the
is
Cowboys offense has been red hot. I have never seen a team run the ball like that on the Eagles with Jalen Carter and Jordan Davis and those guys. Like to me, if I'm the Packers, that's the entire key of the game is don't let the running backs get going like that. And it's not the running backs; it was the offensive line. The
yeah.
offensive line was killed the Eagles D line.
I don't know why you're shocked. This Chicago Bears team has been good all season. You're
We,
like, "Oh, I didn't see them having a good game." Like they did what I thought they would do. Like they played a great game, but they've been doing that all season.
no, I did not expect that in Philly. The Eagles' offense could struggle. I did not expect their defense to struggle like that. Um, we'll see. And on the other side, so Green Bay is going to be, a tough matchup as well. And Jordan Love coming off a 4 touchdown performance, no turnovers. They look great again in Detroit on Thanksgiving. Um, Dontavian Wicks went crazy. Christian Watson. But to me, the key is the Bears lead the NFL in takeaways. So we need to force a couple turnovers. That's going to be the ultimate, whether Caleb turns the ball over or whether Jordan Love turns the ball over. That to me is going to be the game.
Yeah, I like the coaches being pitted against each other and
Yeah.
asking them very pointed questions and trying to create a coach rivalry there. And I know Green Bay has had some games where their defense was just not great. I already referenced the Dallas Green Bay tie. 40 points, that's not happening in this one. We're definitely you cannot do that and still beat the Bears here. And
Yeah.
then losing Devontae Wyatt for the season with an ankle injury, that sucks. He's going to be a tough guy to replace. Matt LaFleur said that as well. But I think that this defense is a bit better than the Eagles defense played. And Williams has only been sacked 19 times this
Yeah.
season. He's having a fantastic season. That O-line is playing really well. I do love our defensive front. I think it's going to be a fun matchup. I don't even really want to make a pick here just because this is what I've wanted to see. Like I think these are going to be like every time I'm like, oh, this will be a great challenge for Green Bay. Like we just don't get the result we want. Like I'm not seeing them tested in the ways I wanted to. I think this
Yeah.
is going to be fantastic. I think with as good as Chicago's run game has been since it's week five by 51 percent success rate since week five. You
Hmm.
guys second best in that over that span. Um, Green Bay is really good at stopping the run. Deep plays we're questionable with. But I'm just excited for this one. And then if something goes wrong, we'll get to do it again in 2 weeks. So it'll be fine. But obviously
Yeah.
I'm picking Green Bay here. So
No, I think yeah, it's going to be a great matchup, and if anything's going to get the Packers fired up, is playing the Bears,
yeah.
and the Bears won the last meeting that was in Green Bay in January of last year, and this is the first matchup with Ben Johnson since he made those comments about I love beating up on Matt LaFleur. So Matt LaFleur is going to be fired up as well.
Yeah.
The Packers want this one. There's a statement, an opportunity to say, hey, I know you guys are red hot, but you're the same old Bears. You don't come into Lambeau and beat us. Meanwhile, the Bears are saying this is the new Bears. We're trying to, get a winning streak here
I have a
against Green
theory
Bay.
that Ben Johnson pulling off that win against the Eagles and ripping his shirt off made Dan Campbell pull his head out of his ass and actually punt the ball and pull off a win last night. I feel like Dan Campbell was like, oh no, Ben's winning the divorce and stepped up his
Yeah.
game. Play calling was so much better for Detroit this week. So I think, I guess you can thank Ben Johnson and the Bears for playing well for the Detroit win.
Yeah.
But I mean, Green Bay has worked on replacing Devontae Wyatt with Quentin Bohanna. I don't know if I'm saying that right, and Jordan
Okay.
Riley. So we've brought in a couple players, signed a couple people in. I think it'll be good. I do think Green Bay, on a good day, when everyone's doing their damn job and our defense shows up and our offense shows up, which has been an issue throughout the season, I think Green Bay is the better team, but Chicago is more consistent.
Yeah, and Chicago hasn't always played that great either. Like they messed around with the Giants and could have lost
Mhm.
that game. They could have lost to the Mason Rudolph Steelers. So the best game we've seen was last week against Philly.
Yeah.
And to me, the entire game is focused on the run game. If Green Bay stops the run, they're probably going to win this game. If they can't, the Bears are probably going to win this game, in my opinion. I'm a big Kyle Monangai fan, and that
So
offensive
good.
line even got DeAndre Swift going last week.
I
Uh,
also am a big Kyle Monangai fan since I saw
yeah.
that one man on his reel where he sings Kyle Monangai's name to the tune of the Lion King song. Every time he touches the ball, I have to sing it now. It's like a stim of mine now. So huge Kyle Monangai fan. What a fantastic name.
It was cool to see Micah Parsons playing the role of Caleb Williams in their
So
practices.
cute. He was
Yeah,
having the time of his life too. Because it's
yeah,
funny because he was saying he was like, yeah, so when I'm a quarterback, like in practice, when I'm pretending to be someone, I know exactly how defenders are going to move. I know how they're going to cut at me. So I feel like it gives the youngins a chance to like go after me better because I know exactly what the quarterback's going to do because I just sit there and watch them.
yeah,
I love seeing that. That was fun.
yeah. It was very cool. So I can't wait for this matchup. This is the best rivalry in all of football, and it's going to be a great game. Another episode of Bears and Packers. I'm taking Chicago. You're taking Green Bay, and
Of
we'll
course.
see. Yeah, we'll
Can you
see what
imagine if you were
happens.
like, yeah, I'm actually going to pick Green Bay here, wearing a Chicago Bears jersey?
I can pick it against the Bears any week of the season, but I can't do it against Green Bay. I can't
Fair.
do it against Detroit. So
Alex is
go
getting disowned by his family this week for picking Green
Bears.
Bay.
But
Here's another super lopsided one. I hate when teams are the inverse of each other's record this late in the season. 9-3 at
yeah.
the 3-9. Like nobody wants that in week 14.
Yeah, Arizona on a 4-game losing streak. The only positive is that the Rams struggled the week before. Stafford threw 3 turnovers and they lost to the Panthers. But that's probably not a positive because that got the Rams' attention and they're going to be ready to go in this one. Um,
I just feel like
no,
Stafford was looking forward to that record and then he hit it and he's like, oh, fuck this. Like, I feel like he was just like, I made it. And he just kind of slacked off a little bit. I think it was just a little bit of a kind of like a Super Bowl hangover when they're like, yeah, we did the thing. And then you relax a little bit. I don't think that's indicative of Stafford's performance for the rest of the season. I think he
yeah.
was a little internally celebratory and got a little distracted. He earned those turnovers, okay? You break a record like that, like throw a couple turnovers, pumpkin. You do you. Like I
Yeah,
support his
he
turnovers.
what, 27 touchdowns, no turnovers, or at
Yeah.
least no interceptions? Yeah.
He got the record and
Um,
he's like, oh, fuck it. The Cardinals are 0-8 against teams that have come into their matchup with a winning record this season.
wow. And they're going to be 0-9. Their injury list is a mile long.
It's so long.
Yeah. No, two running backs are out. Marvin Harrison Jr.'s out. Uh, the list goes on and on.
But the
Um,
Cardinals have been very competitive against like there's been a couple they've almost stolen.
yeah,
The Tampa Bay matchup, they were competitive in
yeah,
that one till the very end. They're kind of a spoiler team. They just haven't quite actually spoiled anything. They've been close to spoiling.
yeah.
Um,
All season long, they've been so close, but yeah. Uh, I got the Rams. You got
yeah,
the Rams, right?
yeah,
Yeah. So let's go to Sunday Night Football. And unlike last week, we got two great primetime matchups. I'm
yeah.
looking forward to it.
This is
The
the one week
seven,
where I'm like, let's not flex any of these out of prime time.
yeah.
There are a couple coming down the line where I'm like, why is this in prime time? Can we flex, please?
Next week, I hope they
Next
flex. I
week
think
is
it's the
ugly.
Vikings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm petitioning to get that one flexed.
yeah. But this game is a great one. The 7-5 Texans at the 6-6 Chiefs. Houston on a 4-game winning streak. Chiefs have lost 3 of their last 4. CJ Stroud is back. That Houston defense is balling. And right on cue, the Chiefs have major offensive line issues. No Josh Simmons, no Jawan Taylor, no Trey Smith, it looks like. So they could be without 3 starting offensive linemen against that defense. This The Chiefs have had the Texans number recent. They beat them twice last year. They beat them 5 straight times. I don't see how they do it on Sunday Night Football, though. I got to go Texans here, right?
Normally, I would say yes. This team does not play well in cold weather, though.
Okay.
Under D'Amico, they're 0-2 at Arrowhead. Both times the weather was under 40 degrees. It's going to be below 30 degrees. It'll be the first time they've played in anything below like 55 degrees outside.
Okay.
And D'Amico Ryan's approach is crazy. He's like, "Oh, we're not going to focus on it. It's a mindset thing." I'm like, "No, cold actually makes a difference, buddy. Like, clearly
That's
you
the
haven't been out
Dolphins.
when it's 25 degrees. If you're like, oh, I'll just not think about it being cold, like, that's not how that works."
Yeah.
Um, I think they're being a little flippant with how much of a factor weather can be. Um, Kansas City pass rush production has been awful. No sacks in the past 11 quarters. Chris Jones has really fallen off in production.
Yeah.
Getting to CJ Stroud is going to be an issue for them because I just haven't seen it from them. They're not being very cohesive on defense, which I don't love. But I just can't pick against Patrick Mahomes in a situation where they need to win or else. Mahomes is 5-1 in his career against the Texans, and the only one of those he lost was his first game against them in
Yeah.
2019. So I
Yep.
just uh, uh picking against Kansas City late in the season just never bodes well for me. So I'll pick them, but I'm definitely rooting for Houston.
Okay. I agree with everything that you said, but I think that the Chiefs died on Thanksgiving. I picked the Chiefs to win that game. I thought that like this typical Chiefs team finds a way to win that game on
Yeah.
Thanksgiving, and the typical Chiefs team would find a way to win this game on Sunday night. I just think they're This year, they're not cut out to do it. The Chargers and Broncos are running away with the AFC West with each week, and I just think Houston is playing. I'm buying this Texans team. I think I said it on the podcast last week. I feel like this Texans team is capable of going on a deep playoff run based on the defense alone. Woody Marks and Nick Chubb have been coming along, running the ball well. Um, I gotta go. I'm gonna go Texans here in Arrowhead. In that defense, I trust, and so I agree that cold weather, opens it up, but defense, nasty defense, hard hitting defense in cold weather. Patrick Mahomes might be in shock too. But Texans in Arrowhead, you're going Chiefs. So we disagree on five. This is gonna be a eventful week. Um, Now let's go Monday night. Let's see if we disagree on one more. The 8-4 Eagles at the 8-4 Chargers. LA coming off a 31-14 win over the Raiders. Eagles coming off a bad loss against the Bears where they got pushed around. Eagles are on what? They're on a losing streak, right?
Yeah, they've had a rough couple weeks.
Yeah,
And that run defense, like I mentioned with the Chicago, so yielding 281 yards, a pair of touchdowns to the Bears. And then over the past couple weeks, over the past 2 weeks, they've allowed 898 total yards. They're second
dude,
most allowed in a two-game span with Sirianni.
that's ridiculous. That's not
That's
sustainable. And Jalen
no.
Carter's going to miss this game as well. Um, but on the other side, you got Justin Herbert playing off of he's got a fractured left hand. But the running game might be able to help him out. The Chargers are gonna. Jim Harbaugh is looking at what the Bears did to the Eagles and is saying that's the blueprint. We're
Yeah.
gonna feed the hell out of Omari and Hampton and Kamani Vidal and protect Justin Herbert and hopefully impose their will on the run game.
Yeah, and the Chargers are generally a pretty cautious team when it comes to injuries. Like we've seen them be like, yeah, maybe he can play. No, we decided to keep him out this week. But with
Yeah,
Herbert coming off surgery, they're like, oh no, he should be good to go. We're optimistic. Like they've been really like positive about him playing, which makes me feel like maybe he's actually good to go. Like they're not one of those teams that'll just like slap a band-aid out in there and like get out there, buddy, rub some dirt in it. Like they tend to be very, very protective of their players when they're injured. And knowing how Herbert has played through injuries before, that fractured rib situation he had before, ankle sprains, like he's only missed a couple days from that what fractured finger. I think he's only
yeah,
ever like really missed some time. So I expect him to play, and I expect them not to let him play if he's actually going to have his performance hindered by his injury. So I think
yeah.
he's fine, which is a weird thing to say when you had surgery 12 seconds ago, but
Yeah, he's gonna be like Aaron Rodgers with like a brace on his left
yeah.
hand, and try to. And but the one thing about that is that can affect your handoffs. Remember, Aaron
Mhm.
Rodgers was doing the little flip pass
Yep.
last week because he didn't want to hand off with his left hand. But
I think it's crazy how many left arm, hand, shoulder injuries we have in starting quarterbacks this year. Like, I wonder if, because I don't remember it being like this, but now like all the quarterback protections, like we've seen so many left arm, hand injuries over the past couple seasons. I wonder if it's affecting the way defenders like tackle and get those sacks. Like if something about the way they're shifting their body to not land on their body, if it's just
yeah,
getting the arm more involved. They're like shifting off to the side and just landing on the arm instead of, their abdomen.
yeah, and plus I think they use that off arm to like brace themselves when they
Mhm.
fall or whatever. I don't know. It's kind of interesting, but hopefully Herbert looks good. I'm rooting for the Chargers. I want to see if they can potentially catch Denver or at least get into the playoffs and see what they do. I've been a big fan of them ever since they hired Jim Harbaugh, and I trust the Chargers in this game. We'll see if the Eagles offensive coordinator gets his house egged again after this performance like he did last week.
You know what? After, like, it was the first possession of the game and fans started booing. I was like, you know what?
Yeah.
Philly fans deserve to lose out for the rest of the season. Y'all are so shitty. Like, boo, we have 8 wins. Like, shut the fuck up. Like, do you know how, like, can you imagine like a Cleveland fan booing with 8 wins? Like, they're ungrateful little shits is what Philly fans are. There are teams who would kill to have 8 wins right now, you whiny babies. Like I get why they're frustrated. They know this team can do great things, but like you guys have enough Super Bowl wins lately to not be this needy. Like stop. It's not like, oh, this is the only year we could potentially win a Super Bowl. Like, wait, didn't you guys just like, yeah, okay.
Defending
Uh,
champs. But that's
they're
Eagles
fucking
fans in a
spoiled. Philly
nutshell.
fans are spoiled. Like
Yeah.
nobody else
No,
would be booing right now.
they're ruthless too. They were the ones that booed Santa and were yelling shit at Michael Irvin. You know, they're nasty.
I want to go to all the NFL stadiums, but that one's pretty low on my list of priority. And
Yeah.
being down Jalen Carter is going to really suck for them. He had a
Yeah.
surgery on both of his shoulders, like week to week. I don't know how you're going to come back from a double shoulder thing. Like that sucks. But Moro Ojomo has been pretty good. Jordan Davis, like he'll step up and
They
pick up
got
some of the
depth.
slack. I think this
Yeah.
game will be competitive. I could see the Eagles winning it
Me too.
just after last week. I think they're going to be embarrassed and they're going to, this is a must
Yeah.
win. We have to like prove ourselves. Also, our fans are whiny babies. But I think the Chargers should win it. I might switch this one on Monday. We'll see where we're at in the standings for the week.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, so we disagree on 5 games.
5, yeah. So most so far this
So
season.
I could be down 9 games next week if things don't go my way, but I could be up 1 game too. So we'll
Yeah.
see.
It's you, so
Probably
we'll see.
it's probably going to be like 3-2.
Yeah.
1 game
It'll be
difference.
close.
But
I feel like
yeah,
you'll probably make up one or two. If it's
hopefully.
the
I need
Chicago
to.
Green Bay game and I'm right, you can win the rest of them. Like as long as Green Bay wins, I don't care.
I'm feeling like one of these teams that are on the outside looking in. I'm getting desperate here with the playoffs right around the corner. I need some wins. So,
I'm just
but
an ungrateful Philly fan who is winning and is not happy with my winning record.
yeah, if you don't win the week, you're going to be booing Santa too. So,
Never.
but
If Green Bay wins, I have won the week. Okay, that we're good. Also, I would never boo Santa. Okay. Do you know how I feel about Christmas? You shut your mouth. That was sacrilegious. No.
All right, so you're on the record. If you win 4 and lose the Green Bay, you lose the week.
Emotionally,
All right. All I need is 1 win. All right.
I have a shirt I want to wear when Green Bay beats Chicago. So,
Well, I'm gonna pick up a shirt when Chicago beats Green Bay too. So, touche.
yeah.
All right. Great shit as always. Another fun episode. We hope you guys enjoyed this one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, leave a comment. Stay tuned. I'm trying to line up some great interviews for the playoffs. It's going to be a fun time. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate the support and have a great week, guys. Peace out.